Good evening, heroes and heroines, and welcome to Practising Programming in C, where I hope you could hear that introductory bit of voice. Hope it faded in audibly. Where we're doing some stuff on Cinera. We're basically just investigating memory leaks. So we now have the ability to actually measure memory usage. So let me just illustrate this. What are we timing? So we're currently timing the full fresh config and the discard all and free config. So this is the thing that's actually leaking, isn't it? If I just run it, we should see that we leak a bit, I think, maybe. Yeah, can I see this actually? So this is refrigeration 41. Yeah, it's using 264 kilobytes more than it was using the previous iteration. I think I might actually just, in the mem loop thing, we did do a thing here which was basically if new is greater than old, so if we leaked any on that iteration, then sleep, just so I can sort of see it. In fact, will that suffice? Like, can you just do that? Just do a single line thing. There you go. Yeah, so now after the third iteration it leaked, fifth iteration it leaked, sixth. So interestingly, after the, let's see, let's watch that again. Don't power off. So the first time that we see the sleep, wait, what's that? Oh, that's fetching quotes, right? So that's the store. So the first time that we get the actual leakage is on iteration 3, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if we can use that to our advantage. Iteration 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it seems like every single iteration will leak in 264 bytes. Kilobytes. Is that what I said? Kilobytes. Alright, so I'll just let this run and basically describe what I'm going to be doing. So yesterday I think I distinguished between two types of memory leaks. I think I was in the process of defining the two memory leaks when we got a bit sidetracked talking about some other stuff. So on the one hand, we got a memory leak which is what I define as an explicit memory leak. And on the other hand, we have what I'm defining as an implicit memory leak. And an explicit memory leak, under my understanding, is one where it's essentially like a heap allocation leak. So where you have allocated some memory, so you've said that a point is going to be like the starting point of this allocation, and then you've done a loop, and without freeing that pointer, you then actually loop back and you reallocate, or rather you do a fresh allocation on that pointer, basically. So this is what I'm just defining as an explicit memory leak. An implicit memory leak, by contrast, is not a heap allocation. It's basically like a stacked memory leak, effectively. And I can illustrate what I mean by by this implicit memory leak. If I just stop those iterations, and if I go to the mem loop, so I'll prevent that from happening, and I will go into, I think, parse config. Right. So if I just measure this, and just show you that it's leaking nothing. What's going on? Passing over an incompatible pointer type. Oh, hang on. That is unexpected. Hang on. We are building. Yeah, it's the release mode thing. Oh, I think I'll tell you what. This is the thing that. Well, no. This is supposed to. Yield absolutely nothing. I'm going to take that if statement out of the macro. This is going to do for 64,000 by the way. So let me just do that. I'm going to loop. And this if here. If I remove that, so he's not going to sleep whenever the iteration leaks on. Yeah, so we're back with this again. 12448 on the tokenize. That is pretty goddamn alarming. Oh, I know where it is. It's in the, sorry, yeah, I do know where that is. If you look in tokenize, yeah, I needed to turn this off. So it's in this actually. That's where the leak is happening. Because the free tokens doesn't actually free the watch handles. So I need to, when I'm testing this stuff, when I'm testing the freeing of the tokens, I needed to not push the watch handle on, basically. That's all that was. So then we've got 0. So what I'm trying to illustrate to you here is the what's it called? The implicit memory leak. So yeah, in past config, if I just go back to there. This is in the testing. So if I just do the following, it's going to do the pre-free and then the free tokens list. If I just simply initialize the tokens list. Yeah, is that enough actually? Let me just see if that is enough. Because I will get the warning, but let's just let's see if the compiler actually compiles it in. Yeah, it's compiled it out. Alright, that's fine. So now using that variable. You can see some non-zero values up here. We're leaking apparently 24. And that's simply a product of us initializing this and using this to set that. So this kind of thing is what I'm defining as an implicit memory leak. And these guys are going to be more difficult to sort of find, I reckon, because you can't just search for alloc, basically. You can't search for allocations. You're literally going through and you're seeing like how all of these variables are initialized, basically. So I'm going to divide the problem, or divide the investigation up into two parts. I'm going to first of all look for heap allocation, heap leaks. You know, the explicit memory leaks. I'm going to first of all look for those, and hope that we find some. And then I'm going to go on to look for the implicit memory leaks if we need to. Yeah, so we'll probably have to get a bit methodical about this. I'm going to start off by just doing this. And also I'm going to reduce the iteration count of the memory loop thing. Take it down to like... Oh, that was 16, wasn't it? Let's let it do 64 iterations. I think that's 64. Because otherwise, now that we're testing more stuff, it's going to take ages to get through the actual test. Yeah, so after simply just see what the count was actually. Iteration 63, yeah, so 64. So after 64 iterations, you've already leaked 18 meg, which is a significant amount of memories to be leaking from 64 iterations. So that was without the pushing of the watch handles on. And I'm going to go into tokenize. And actually make it push that on. So this is just the very first thing I wanted to just get a bit of a handle on. So that's 18068. Yeah, I don't want to be timing that. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that 64 is too many as well, actually. So yeah, 18068, that's basically the same amount. So now let's go to our actual loop. So this is the thing that we're actually testing. So it's discard all and free config is what we're testing. And it's the parse config and init all that we're actually looking at. Now we've already determined that parse config and free config are working leak free, essentially. So just except for that 700 odd. So remember that this watch handle isn't touched by freeing of the config or freeing of the tokens. So we need to keep turning that off. Full config is leaking essentially this much after 64 iterations. Actually, that seems a bit high. Let me just bear with me. Pretty sure it's about that much after 64,000. Yeah, there's lots of zeros. Yeah, so that's effectively a mean, it is leaking, obviously, but it's not leaking as badly as it was before. So I reckon what's going on there is that there's an implicit memory leak, basically. Yeah, 876. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we've seen that that is the passing of the config and the freeing of the config. So it's the freeing of the config, which is actually the bit that we're testing. All right. So what does discard all do? Discard all does all of these things. It does free sign posted file, free and reset count of the assets, free and reset count of the watch handles, sets the current product to nothing, and frees the config. So we know that free config is fine. Now, can we sort of narrow down these problems? Free sign posted file, db metadata. What is this doing? It's doing a free file. Oh. It's got one of these. I might go as far as to say, let's not do that. And let's just see if this makes any difference at all. Okay, so all we're doing is saying yeah, I mean we just got to do it, haven't we? Just got to go down. Yeah, I think we do just have to do it. So, ID and edits. So the we'll get to each individual thing. So this is going to be the F signpost dot, isn't it? So the file edits, so what is that? That's a byte position and a size. I suspect this won't make a difference actually, because we're not doing this. We're not going to be passing this value into something that's looping. But I'd like to just see what it's doing. So for each of these, we've got an ID, a pointer, and a byte. Oh shit, yeah. Hold on. Is that right? So signpost doesn't, yeah, ID, pointer, and byte. Yeah, ID first. Yeah, and then bytes. Okay. And not that this matters in the slightest, but so what does that look like? So basically all we're trying to do here is just null out everything. So it's got the file ID, the edit, and the byte position and the size of that edit, and then all of this now. So yes, my theory is that this won't change anything. Also, I don't think this is the right thing to be talking about, is it? It's the wrong. It's the wrong thing. Yeah, this is only testing this. We're now talking about this. Let's just see. I think I can also add that sleep back in, can't I? Yeah, it's made no difference, I don't think. Yeah, it's effectively no difference at all. And again, my rationale for that is that this isn't being done in a loop and it's not being passed to a function for what it's worth. So my theory is that this also seems fine. We know that this is fine. So then the free and reset assets. So let's have a look at what the assets actually look like. Asset. Well, that's a problem, isn't it? Isn't it? So you got an asset. You get your asset. So this is a case where I'm not actually freeing the assets correctly. Right, because we're going to have these landmarks here. So there will be a push landmark at some point, won't there? Probably, won't there? Well, there isn't a push landmark. Oh, it's push asset landmark, yeah. There you go, so there's some fitting. Yep. So I suggest that this assets is insufficient. We need to do a free asset. guess I could actually put that under here, couldn't I? Really, the free assets. What line's that on? 11,600. Yeah, so we're above it. Yeah, it's simply a case of just freeing and retaining that, isn't it? Pretty cool if that's it, actually. $382.64. Sorry, that was what I wanted. So previously we were doing just that. We weren't actually freeing the whole asset. And we're looking 376,264. But with the free assets, 264. I think it's the same value, isn't it? Actually. Yeah. So it's made no difference, unfortunately. But I do think that needs to happen. So now let's look at the watch handles. And the watch handle is simply this. It's a pointer to handle an account. So it's a pointer to handle an account. And this thing here is simply a pointer to a project. It's not like an allocation. This is obviously fixed size. This is whatever. So yeah, I think that this call here is sufficient to free the watch handles. this needs to happen, and this we also know that that's fine. Alright, so we've established, I think, that the things that we've got in there are actually okay. So now what we need to do is we need to go into the init. Let's just pop that over there. Let's do this full screen actually, so I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright. So init all is going to init db, sync db, init asset, push configured asset. Single overhead is input. Sync page. So let's just go for it. Let's just see what this is doing in terms of memory. So here's where it's going to be using memory in reading file to buffer, and we free that signposted file here. Okay, I can't see anything lingering there. This read file into buffer is the thing that will actually get freed eventually by that. So one thing I could do actually is basically say I could test this individually, couldn't I? Yeah, I think I could. Sorry, it's pre-free, isn't it? It's the first thing you do. So this is the DB, basically. So my theory here is that the only thing that's left for the init DB is the signposted file. So yes, it initializes, then takes the amount that it's used, and then it frees, and inits again and takes the amount. Yeah, so I think that has proven to us that this is correct. Now, if I don't do the free signposted file, this might not leak either actually, because we're using the same dB. No, that's garbage. No, it's exactly because we're using the same dB that I should expect this to leak. Yeah. So this is now leaking. Right, I'm doing 64. So yeah, this bit, the free sample file, is freeing the init dB. Now, sync dB. What does this do? Add entry to generation. Oh, well, no, there's 3 generations down there. So I guess a quick way to test this if I'm not mistaken, could be to just expand this to do the init dB. And just see if freeing the signposted file is sufficient to actually free all the stuff that we think we need. Yeah, it does seem to be. Alright, so we don't need to go into syncdb and see if there's anything untoward there, I don't think. Now, init assets, push configured assets. Let's just test the free assets. And again, if I don't free the assets, but we keep initting, I would expect this to leak, right? I assume, I haven't looked at the init assets function actually. So what does it actually do? Init built-in assets. It's pushing an asset. This will do a fit, won't it? Yeah, it does. So let's just see. First of all, I'm actually timing it. Let's try to do more iterations. Oh, actually, yeah, this is probably not leaking because we've got a set value that we're using, haven't we? We're talking about the assets. Yeah, the init built-in assets. We're talking about the built-in assets count, which has got an actual value. It's just a set value. And it's placing that. And this placing is going to fit. And basically, it's going to try and fit 16. I mean, whatever. But we're always talking about this pointer here. Yeah, we're always talking about this. And say like we've fitted 16 assets worth of stuff into this. You know, we've allocated 16 assets worth of memory to this. We do that the first time. The next time we do it, we're going to find that the assets... Well, hang on, shouldn't the assets count? Well, yeah, we haven't touched the assets count. So the assets count is going to remain the same. It's still going to be less than 16. We are incrementing this though. If the position is equal to the assets count, and the assets position isn't, the assets at that position is not known, increment the count. Oh, there's a asset watch handle, yeah. So that should be leaking. Shouldn't it? So yeah, extend string into the path. This actually allocates memory. Yeah, right. It does a realloc. Mind you, we always free files, so that's going to free the path as well, isn't it? Yeah, it does free the path. Okay, I mean, if it's saying it's not leaking, I guess we trust it. I think maybe one thing that is troubling me is the watch handles thing. Like, why? That is apparently not leaking. Right, because when we init the assets, go init the built-in assets, place the asset, oh, push the asset watch handle. Right, I mean, is this actually happening? Yeah, Yes, it is happening. Oh. Oh, actually, I tell you what, it could be the case that we only pushed it on once, basically. That's probably what's going on there. So, how do we determine that? Non-existent acid is the actual thing. Hang on, push shorter. So yeah, this happened. Push acid, what's Trundle? Yeah, we could see, couldn't we? In here, we found the same asset. Well, yeah. But what I think I'd like to do is actually make it print some stuff out first. So print function then. So with a bit of luck, we should see a bunch of these lined up, and then we should see them interlead with we found an already watched asset. Oh, I guess, yeah, we're also seeing the printout of the file name, aren't we? Asset file path. So let's just prevent that from happening just a second. Just to see if we get the thing printing out. So again, stuff lined up. So that was in the first iteration. And then in the second iteration, everybody is saying we found an already watched asset. So that's really what I'm looking for here. Let's just get to iteration 1, and then so there's iteration 1. So in the first iteration we got boom, boom, boom. Then we found an already watched asset for this one. And then there again, there again, there again, there again, there again, there again. And then this one actually pushed a watch handle. This one found, this one found, this one found, this one found. Okay, but then we've come around to the second iteration, we found an already watched asset for every single one. So we're not actually leaking watch handles. So that makes perfect sense there. So undo this test stuff. Okay. So that is making sense as to why none of that is leaking, I think, doesn't it? Now let's get the configured assets into the mix. Now I think this should be the same deal actually. We're freeing the assets, and again it's only the watch handles that's going to be any different. I suppose I've deleted that actual printout, haven't I? But I should see the actual, just see the usage. So, what's going on here? What am I missing? Alright, so it's worked. So init assets, push configured assets, free assets, init assets, push configured assets. And then this one was for some reason getting nowhere. Okay, so that's fine. Not exactly sure what's going on. Yeah, but it's not leaking. So we can continue. Pack template, search template. Just open up the discard all. Ah, hang on. Well, free configs should be freeing that template. Yeah, they free that. Yeah, I think we're not actually doing that anyway. Because it's not set. I mean, we will get a printout anyway, actually, to be fair. I suppose we could make it sleep after we've done that also, so we can actually see it. Oh, still doing that. Turn that off. Just bear with me a sec. Alright, yeah, so pack template's happening. It's not actually done it though, is it? Search template 1. Search template must include one Cinera includes and Cinera search tag. How do you do this? So it wants a Cinera, we have got Cinera search, haven't we? It wants a Cinera includes and a Cinera search, so we have got those. And we've got Cinera includes, so there's something busted there, isn't there? Did it work the first time actually? So this happened previously. Wait, hang on, I'll just pack template. Oh, no such file directory. Oh. Hold on a second. Global search template shouldn't have a / at the start. So that's busted, isn't it? Seems like we're possibly resolving that path incorrectly. Well, no, I mean, it's sort of... That looks like it's the right path. So pack template comes in. Into the template. If it's a directory, oh yeah, hang on. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. So what's the problem? Right, it's resolved that, no problem, doesn't it? Somehow it's managed to get that. Okay. Yeah, when you go to packing template, we're not seeing this as the path. Oh, sorry. Wait, what were we talking about? Talking about the result path. Oh, that was only the configs path, right? Yeah, probably better off doing it here. Alright, so pack template. Yeah, exactly. So pack template is happening and it's getting the path as this. Config label search template path. It sort of seems like when I do the actual config, I'm just not resolving that path correctly. Right, global search template path. So there we do a strip slashes, resolve string. Oh yeah, we just simply do not handle the tilde, do we? How did I not spot this? Just go back to the config. We've used, yeah, that's right, isn't it? If I were to use this, I think you would find it, wouldn't it? So just pat template, and now it's managed to resolve that somehow. Home mat. It's stripped slashes for some reason, but it's still apparently found the thing, I think. Yeah, it does look to me like it is managing to pack it. Like it's not erroring at all. So I think we actually need to make resolve string handle that, don't we? Tell you what, since this isn't what we're supposed to be doing at the moment, we're supposed to be investigating memory leaks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a note to essentially make or just somehow properly okay. So all I wanted to see there was getting the template actually building. Yeah, okay, so this is actually applied a template to the actual thing, which is perfect. So now we can actually sort of try and test this, what we're trying to test. So, in it all, let's test the freeing of the template. Grab this. think that was the only thing I've done, wasn't it? Oh no, this. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, yeah, so after a number of iterations of it, 64 iterations, it doesn't leak. Let's double check that by doing, just let it do it 64,000 times. Yeah, and just to further impress upon us what's going on, if I don't free, this should leak, shouldn't it? Yeah, it is. Perfect. Alright, so we know that the freeing of the template works. So we can go to the Cinera, discard all, and free comment. It's basically not where I want to be. So we've determined the free signpost is a file. This is fine. Free assets is fine. Free unreserved account is fine. And we have also determined that free config is fine also, which does the free template. So I guess technically all that test was not really informative because we've already done it. So that's fine. So we're now down to sync project. So what does sync project do? Yeah, it packs a template for the current project. Oh, yeah, right. So if we've got a current project, we might need to actually free the templates for the current project. Right. I don't think we actually do have that happening. But if I just go into the config, so apparently we have got risky. Yeah, we have got him doing the config. Sorry, doing the index template. So what that means is that we're already generating that. I think that means that we should see that in here, should we? Yeah. And this thing up here, risky business buckle, that is coming from the config. You know, the title of this thing is coming from the config. Sorry, it's coming from the template. Well, yeah, I mean, I suppose we should be getting a bit more stuff, shouldn't we? We got the title, risky business and book club. What if I suppose just to get a bit more stuff? I guess we just didn't let it get down there. I think that's what it was, wasn't it? We didn't let it get down there. Right, what have I done there? No. So what have I screwed up? That's working fine. Oh, I just deleted a thing. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is to look at sync projects, and it's a template packing. So with a bit of luck, we should see a template get packed before this happened. So risky risk. Yeah, I don't think risk has got one, is it? So it's really risky and then risky. Yeah. So when we switch to there, we pack the template. So this happened, and then it's trying to synchronize. So, okay, yeah. So I'll just let it continue. Yeah, I am just a little bit bamboozled here as to what we're actually producing. Because we're producing a different page now. Yeah, we can produce a completely different page. What's going on? Oh yeah, so we've commented out this, so it's understandable why this is looking like this. But as for why this is looking like this, why is that? So I'll just move that. Right, so that's affected that change. Give this its full name document. And again, the search template is index template risky. Oh, we didn't open that one. Good. Right, so it's there. And then just index template risky.html. Right, this is what we want to be looking at. So we're apparently using this template to generate this page. But where's the rest of it? Or where's any of it actually, for that matter? I'm very bamboozled now as to why this isn't actually taking hold. Tell you what I'm going to try. Just removing the database. And remove that. So now this file doesn't exist anymore. This file doesn't exist anymore. And I think this one hopefully should get generated as a thing that uses that actual template. No, it's not. Well, I mean, we can't really proceed until we're making sure that this is happening, can we? The current project search template length. Let's just go to debug mode just for a second. How do you do this? And it's in Cinera, isn't it actually? No, it's push project. I think. Right, it's here. So So it seems to me like there was a template there. Sync DB with import. I mean, at least at some point we should be getting to that. Generate search page. Probably this time we won't actually. Oh, we are. So yeah, generate search page. It's buffers to HTML that should be the thing that is incorporated in the template. double check the search template is still there. So there is a search template still there. Right. So I think everything is okay so far. Right, so it is actually processing it as a templated thing. How do we know we're writing to? Out location. Yeah, where the hell is the actual like file that you're going to write to? Output path. Right. So we're writing to this file. Oh, right. So what was I looking at? Risky. Yeah, but I was looking at this, wasn't I? Previously, I was actually looking at that. Right, so it is templated. So what is the problem then? What is going on? Right, so that's still okay. Okay, so at this point, this still hasn't been touched. We step over this. Now what's happened? Has this been touched? No. Continue, generate global search page. This is going to be generating this page here. I mean, it kind of has already been generated. But we can just quickly delete that, can't we? Right, so that's gone. If we generate this now, right, it's back. This is the thing that we're still looking at, by the way. Is only what's going on with the templating. So risk got generated there apparently, which is this person. That used the same template. Yeah, mental health PSA. No. Risky is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm looking at. Just continue. So it's okay. Goodness knows what I've seen before. Yeah, pretty sure I changed no code there at all. All I wanted to see, by the way, was that thing getting generated like this, in order that I could then just check, when we're doing this, if the free template is actually working. But now that I think about it, again, same deal as with the global search page, where we tested if that is actually freeing the thing. We've determined that, that totally, the freeing of the template is working. Right, so we don't actually need to test it, really. But I will do. So this should be doing that on a loop now. So it's doing something on a loop, aren't we? 48 iterations. So what are we actually testing at the moment? Testing the whole thing on a loop. Yeah. I'll just do this and then I'll just need to take a 5-minute break. So what is it actually testing? Search template free, yeah, so we're apparently leaking something. Just bear with me, I'll be back in just a minute. this isn't actually a fair test because we are building in debug mode, and the debug mode is going to be given as debug symbols, which consume memory. Yeah, so that's not leaking at all. Which I'll pull the right scene up. Yeah. And again, all we've done there is confirm what we kind of need to be true, which was that the template freeing is fine. So now we can go down to sync DB with input and see what that is doing. Okay, so what's going through our mind here is that this db metadata file has been initialized and allocated by the initDB function. So it's the free DB that will handle that. I think construct directory path does consume memory. Yeah, extend string, these do allocate. Let's just be a bit more rigorous about this. So we're saying old play directory. I suppose another way of doing it actually is just to say at the beginning of this function, take a reading. Well, I suppose. You can just do that. Okay, so apparently we're freeing everything that needs to be freeing. possible not even hitting these cases though, to be fair. Let's actually let that happen multiple times. Oh, so that's what it leaks. Ah, now we have a copy of size call on line 8052. Where's this then? This is inserted to DB. Rightio, interesting. How are we building again? Are we building in release? Yeah. So we don't have the debug symbols screwing us over. I'd like to look a bit closer into this function here. So yeah, again, let's go through this methodically, unfortunately. So construct directory path. Allocate. So we've got alt player directory being allocated. DB header variable is a fixed size thing. New player directory. Right. Okay, and then we've got free player directory. So then we can get rid of that. Locate first entry. It's just gonna be a locate thing. Delete player from page from file system. We could look into that, but let's just continue. Return directories again. We could look into that, and then we've got the free all player directory. Clear copy string no format. That does not allocate, does it? No, it simply just copies into the existing thing. Alright, so the things I want to look into is the delete page from player page from file system. This is constructing a directory path. Yeah. So there's an F open and an F close. Remove that. Free the player page path. And then finally free the output directory. Yep, okay, so that isn't leaking. And I could already see that there's a free down there. So that isn't leaking either. Alright. Onwards. Next, old search directory. Because the construct does allocate. Make dir, what's that? does a make string of 4 path and it frees that. And I think making a directory it doesn't keep it around in our pool of memory. So we're fine with that. Then we've got a make string on the old search page path. And then a new search page path. We're going to rename that, and then we've got the free of the old search page and the free of the new. And then we've got a similar deal here. Construct that. Old search in its path, new search page. Freeing them, so we don't need to go into that. And then we've got free of the new search directory. What's that happening? Free file. An init file. Oh, hang on a second. We don't free that file. So you free the file there, then you init it. Reduce the buffer. Yeah, and then here we've got the free of the old search directory. So that was a leak, wasn't it? Of this DB file. I'm going to open the file path. Yeah, the DB metadata. So this DB metadata is the thing that's getting freed here. Yeah, that's fine. So there's no allocations in there. We've got an allocation of HTML dir 0 here. That gets freed instantly. Whether it's just logging errors. We've got the read dir, got the close dir down here. I wonder if this could be a problem. On the other hand, this isn't being passed to something else. I don't think. Like this function here isn't working this to another function. So I think this is fine. delete entries. Strut that, remove it, free. So that's handling that. Yeah, so all those things are freeing what needs to be freeing. This is garbage, isn't it? If there's no entry counts for a particular project, deleting the search page is fine, but deleting the metadata file? No, I disagree with that. Yeah, I'm just going to say that that didn't have to happen. But removing this file I think is probably fine. And also a free file, I think. Would be a bit more appropriate there. So yeah, then we've got the cycle, basically got the open files here, and these cycle files, keep them around in memory. As we want them to do. So I'm going to say that that looks okay. Possible we'll still hit this, but hopefully we're no longer, well, it did say we're leaking 330 odd, didn't it? There we go, so there's a leak of 332k. So have we determined where our leakage is? We'll check. suppose a better way of doing this, actually, rather than doing it in the function itself, would be to do it at the calling site. Do you know what I mean? So we get the usage. I think all of those were saying at least nothing, wasn't it? Yes, that's leaking 16K. So this could be one of those implicit leaks, couldn't it? Hello, Brainsman. Cool name. Yeah, freeing that, freeing this. What's the reason? It's Vim. Microbeam server doesn't look it. Yeah, it is Vim. I could tell you the version as well if you like. Yeah. So it's GVim 8.2.0100. But obviously it's just the console version. So let me just confirm what I'm actually looping over here. The mem loop, it's happening, it's not happening on init all. Ah, we're not looping at all. So we're not actually doing the mem loop testing. We should be doing this. Your Vim user is the first time you see it use of the bar activated. Oh, interesting. Do you mean this bar down here? Which one? Yeah, this bar. Or do you mean this vertical bar? I think is it the ruler? Nope. Show the line column number. Oh, that's that, isn't it? hasn't actually been that. Yeah, the bottom status bar. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's shown. I mean, it seems to be like default-ish to me. Not sure why no ruler isn't stopping that from showing though, to be honest with you. Yeah, no idea. Yeah, so that guy's leaking 316. Which, yeah, it's a little bit troubling. It could, like I say, it could be one of those implicit leaks. You don't have plugins, but you'd like to keep the default. Here it comes. But I'm just playing. Okay, so it's not the default. It's like a little gander in my. Yeah, I guess I do set the status line, don't I? So that's probably what's going on there. What I'm working on is, it is a program called Cinera. So I can give you that. There's this page, and there's also pretty goddamn sure that's the right page. Yeah. And basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for memory leaks, really. The reason I'm looking for memory leaks is that I've just implemented a config file, sort of a thing. And the very latest thing I've done with the config is allowing it to be refreshed while the program is running. So, where's my cursor? If I just go to here, and if I just don't let it sleep, basically. So if I let it run, yeah, mind you, we'll get this issue here straight away for some reason. Yeah, so I need to investigate this. Well, basically, so I can't show you. But yeah, when the program's running, it now actually, when you resave your config, it will reparse the config. So it'll dump everything, reparse the config, and reinitialize the stuff, and then you're on your way. But the thing is, when you do that, when you've got that ability, you sort of need to make sure that the program can just run across those sort of refreshes without leaking any memory, basically. So that's what I'm trying to do. And yeah, the only thing that had changed since it was last running was that thing of freeing the file, wasn't it? So in discard all, wasn't it just this? Let me just undo back to some earlier position. So that was trying to time that. Oh yeah, I freed this file as well, didn't I, actually? Or rather, I stopped doing this. So was it dying at this point? So I think we got a bit further than last time. And yeah, like I say, it was this, wasn't it? Interesting. Yeah, so this was the timing within the function. Oh, is it just to do the template actually? It's something to do with the template busted. So apparently what are we doing here? Project search template. Right, this is not that, is it? It's this. Yeah, so if I just undo past this now. This happened. Yeah, so let's say we'll go up to there. But I can see that we kind of got through this, no problem. How did I learn C? So I learnt it from watching Handmade Hero. That's basically how I learnt it. So if you go onto Hero, you'll get there. Or similarly, yeah, I mean, Handmade Hero is basically the main thing. Casey Muratori does that project. And I'm actually the person who does the indexed episode guide. So these guys here, this is the one for Handmade Hero, and Casey also has her website. This thing here, so I'm the person who indexes these things and basically turns the videos into this thing where you can actually like navigate through them. So I'll just give you that. So yeah, you can just like click through and jump to bits of the actual episode. And if you search for something, you can find places where something is mentioned. This doesn't actually use the current stuff, it's a bit out of date. In fact, it's about, honestly, it's months out of date. I've been working on this stuff for absolutely years. Well, absolutely months. So if you search here for something, this actually sorts the stuff. So this is the one for risky business. But yeah, it's through Handmade Hero that I learned how to program. Yeah, really. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, I mean, that's the trouble with videos, isn't it? That we don't currently have a way, other than searching by text, to actually search for things in videos. And that's basically what we're trying to do. We're just trying to overcome that limitation. It's basically just making videos more. It's basically just making them more navigable, really. And sort of make it easy to refer to things in videos. You know, rather than me having to say to you, oh yeah, remember that bit in this video at about an hour into the video where you did something like this. I can just like say, look, right here, and I can just give you an example. So if it's something of a virtual window wrapper. So say like I wanted to, you're asking me about virtualizing a window wrapper, and I remembered that Casey did this on day 11 of Homemade Hero. Or I remember that he did it at some point. Right, a window wrapper, whatever that is. Right, I can just find it. I can get that link. Hold on a sec. And I can just say, there you go. So rather than having to describe it, just like, you just link you to it. And that's Casey just doing it. He's in full on presenter mode. So yeah, this thing is still going. I think I would like to see where that thing actually got introduced. Could it just be that? Just try freeing this like that and then run it. Gotta go now, come back later. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I might be winding up myself, but if you like, there's like a couple of hundred of videos archived in here. They're not indexed, but yeah, if you fancy seeing a bit of non-live programming, you could find it in there. And yeah, cheers for checking in. Free template and pat template. So, am I right in thinking that that is still happening? That's with the G on. And that's with that. I'm just trying running this and see what happens. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be having that problem. What was that just done? So that's not done the lippy with the templates. Yeah, and then again, we're just back to this get usage situation. So we did it within the function, right? And then we changed, so we did it at the calling site. But at the moment, it is just doing it within the function, so let's just let that do that. Clicking a 0. Okay, then the next thing was we would just not freeing this buffer for the search page, or rather for the, it's really the dot index file is really what it is. So this is succeeding. This was changed from doing free buffer to do free file. So was this the problem? Yeah, it still seems to be fine. And now what we did is we moved the testing of this from inside delete dead DB entries to outside of it. Right. And it was at this point, wasn't it, that we were finding ourselves segfaulting, which we're no longer doing, which is a crying shame if you ask me. I don't know, man. This is getting a bit, it's getting a little bit hairy and a little bit not understandable. And interestingly, it's now always leaking 0. Well, we're still letting the search template do something. Yeah, it's this also. That's the same thing. So it's not like that's going to get in our way. Let's try it once more. Then what I think I'll do is I will then do the loop, I guess. So we're assuming that deleted DB entries isn't leaking. Yes, each iteration is leaking. Just get through to the end of that function. So we got past the delete dead DB entries, wherever that is. It's up at the top there. We make this string, free it. So got a pointer to direct. Inserted false. Read directory. So yeah, we read directory there, we close directory here. Oh, hold on a minute. We need to do that for each loop, don't we? Don't we? Oh no, because it needs to read the directory from the HTML dir handle, so you need to keep that dir handle open. So you open the dir. Pretty fast. Oh, I think the idea is that it pops them off, doesn't it? So yeah, there's insert entry happening here. So I guess we need to look into that actually. So let's just, that's going to be a big thing actually. I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah, I mean, once I step into this insert entry, we'll be basically stepping into everything really. Well, I guess we could do a mem thing here. I mean, it was just this, wasn't it, really? So I'm not 100% sure what I should expect here, actually. I feel like I should expect this to not be leaking, I think. Fetching quotes. Ah, hang on. The quotes. Are they not being freed? I mean, that's complete garbage. I shouldn't be just allocating that much. I need to actually curl it into a growable buffer, I think. What's that returning? It's returning at RC. I mean, we could just see what the usage of this little guy is, couldn't we? Sorry. Could you do with a little function that does this actually, a little macro? And as I say, I think I'm right in thinking that this should be cleaning up everything that it's doing. Yeah, so there you go. Get usage is the culprit there. Sorry, not get usage. Build quotes, whatever it's called. Build quote. So where's that gone? 400 kilobytes. 4,000 kilobytes. So that's just fixed, that's fixed. Now the trouble here actually is that we're talking about fixed size things. Right, I mean if I just do this right here, right, we've got the get usage here, we're going to initialize this, get another usage, right, let's just see what that's saying. I mean I would expect it, wouldn't I? It's 256, so I guess you would actually have to, let's just say that it's that, shall we? Again though, I'm not exactly sure if this will make us actually have to leak anything. Or get another page of memory, basically. Build quote. Yeah, so at that point it doesn't leak anything. Let's just bump that up there to 256 kilobytes. Also that just prevents insert entry from actually sleeping. Yeah, it still said it was leaking 0. I mean, surely this would have to allocate something, wouldn't it? I mean, it's still considering it to not be leaking, so maybe this allocation ain't a problem, or rather this initialization isn't a problem. We've got a file open there. So if we've got cache available is equal to true, do you ever close it? We do close it. So the quote staging yeah, I mean I suppose we could actually just do the usage thing, just keep going down really. Like it here, we would expect the usage to be greater. So this is basically going to, it should correspond to this really, this mallocation. I mean, maybe because it's a thingy build. It's an optimized build. It hasn't actually allocated anything until it thinks that it needs to. Right, which would be here. I think I'd like to try and get through this function, at least to hopefully see where the leakage is happening. Again, it still thinks it's leaking 0. At that point. Search quotes. Oh, I guess curl quotes actually is probably what's going to happen. Be unfortunate that this keeps sleeping after each of those, but whatever. Okay, so we didn't get to this path. I am pretty bamboozled here. There we go. So does that correspond? It does correspond. Perfect. So, right, finally. Before freeing that buffer, we're leaking 3744. How about after freeing that buffer? Ah. So, this free buffer ain't doing sod all. Pressing the quote staging. I would like to know where that actually starts to take effect though. quote staging is supposed to be 256 kilobytes in size. We do allocate it. I doubt that should make any difference at all. Yeah, it doesn't. Well, it's just you do usage in various places. It's quite staging that we're freeing, yeah. I suppose it'd be more sensible to do it at the end of the ifs. So let's do one before the if, and then let's do the other interiors just at the ends of the ifs, I guess. That'll be right. Well, no, because it's numbering them. Alright, let's just see what this gives us. Am I sleeping through all of those, by the way? Yeah, god damn it, I shouldn't actually sleep through them all. Just sleep at the very end. Because otherwise you're just going to be sitting around waiting for people to do their thing. Okay, so here we go. So at interior 3, we've got no leak. So somewhere between interior 3 and interior 4. So curl quotes is the thing that's actually starting us all, starting this whole ball rolling. Right. So it's the quote staging. To write it into there. And then we have a seg file for some reason. So the quote staging pointer is equal to the quote staging location. So where's the quote staging location? That's there, it's allocated there. We're not getting to interior 2. Oh, we are getting to interior 2. So we've got cache available. So we're getting to here. We should get fetch quotes or search quotes. Is unfound. So yeah, it's not leaking there. We do the curl quotes. So that's got to be returning whether it's found or not. So it's getting to 4. It's not getting to 5, 6 or 7. Where's that? It's not getting into there. Oh, into here because we've actually got into some of this. So curl quotes. I haven't curled the quotes. Is that going to help us at all? Nope. Interior 4 leaks this. Actually, it's probably more like quick staging used this out of this. Possibly. Although it should really be the entire allocation, shouldn't it? Yes, that's not even corresponding with anything. So between 3 and 4, something happens. Between 3 and 4, the thing that happens is that curl quotes happens. So curl 1 is out of the picture. Curl 2 consumes 1412 kilobytes. So this curl easy init makes us consume 1412 kilobytes. Right. If curl, I mean, yeah, that hasn't done anything. So that kind of makes sense that that doesn't care. We don't get into here, is that right? We only get to curl 5. So we don't. Oh, that's if there's an error. So there's no error. So having done the easy perform, so it's the easy perform is what actually does the stuff. And then it cleans up. So shouldn't that clean up actually? At least in like, what is this doing? You know, like this 1412. Right. Can't that be cleaned up at all? Why is that taking... I guess that's taking the address to that. So that it can move it. Which actually sounds fine, to be fair. So we've got the... Wait a minute, what? The curl opt right data. The data pointer to pass to the right callback. The right function is curl into buffer. So curl into buffer is wanting to state this by... That's the right pointer, it's going to write to there. And the URL is whatever the URL is. I suppose we could see if we're actually freeing that URL, couldn't we? Jesus. Oh, it doesn't have to be freed because it's actually a thing on the heap. Oh, on the stack rather. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Are we doing the mem loop? Let me just see. Just a sec, if we're doing the mem loop. We're not. So what that basically means is I think if I just run this, we'll end up going to the monitoring things. That's kind of interesting that that only leaks once. So does that actually mean that we don't actually really have a problem with any leakage there? Like the curl thing gets us leaking once. But then thereafter it's not leaking. I mean, that's possible. That's what's going on. Like those numbers are all 0 until we get to the end of the iteration. Until we get to the end of the iteration and we're doing the printout in that, isn't it? So, I mean, maybe I'm satisfied that it isn't leaking, like the building of the quotes isn't our culprit. This is going to do it 64,000 times. We're not going to finish that. Yeah, and then we do find the insert entry ends up saying it's not leaking. We don't even have deep Lamux on, so that's not even going to be doing anything. So how about this then? Well, I suppose actually it's even smaller, isn't it? It's actually this. build quote end. I mean, I can let that free the buffer in the two places. I think that's fine. Isn't it? Well, actually, no. I will do it. That one big time out here. Just to be sure that it's going to actually do it. You know, because we allocated it out here. Right out here. I do want to make sure that it definitely does get freed. So if that fails, the result is going to be equal to that. If the result is not equal to that, then we've succeeded, and by the end of it we need to have freed. Yeah, I think that's fine. So, Jesus, what we're looking at is the yeah, this deferred asset checksum. Yeah, I don't think that pushes anything anyway, honestly. Yeah, so that's not leaking either. But come the end of the iterations, they are not happy about something. So, what is this function? Sync DB with input. And then push HTML watch until. So that is going to be using some memory. between it's leaking in quotes. Okay, so again, all the constituent parts of this function do not seem to be leaking. It does pack the template. What we have to do here? This is, yeah, in it all, yeah. So we had a leak, didn't we? First time around. Now it's leaking a bit more, yeah. So, I think that's the source of our leak. It's a sync project recursively. That leaked that, and this iteration used up this much thing. So yeah, it's sync project. But again, we found that the constituent parts of this didn't leak. So the first time that happened, yeah, the first time that happened, we did leak 372. And that was saying that iteration leaked. So is it simply this that's leaking? Is it this? This blank thing again? I feel like we've been here before, haven't we? set current project leaks 288 kilobytes. So where are those other sleeps happening? Let's just say that it doesn't sleep if it's not leaking. Right, 308. So 356. Yeah, and then 376. Yeah, mind you, on subsequent iterations, this isn't actually the cause of our leak. There we go, that was an error that we were having before. So we free the file, right, we've just freed that file. Now it's trying to copy that in. If this size, yeah, so we do free that file. Surely this isn't it. This guy is supposed to deal with the DB file. Isn't it? Kind of seems like I need to do that, doesn't it? Nope. copying from to something that has a particular size. Sorry, we're copying, the destination is 2. Copying to something, and the 2 has to be a particular size. Wait, sorry, what? We're copying buffer sized. We're wanting to copy to here, from here, this size. Well, we know this, don't we? So the DB file buffer location plus the entry through. Let's just try something here. No, it doesn't like it. 4 through 18 character search. That seems like a lot of characters actually. And this size. So it didn't like clearing entries. I suppose that's fair actually, because they would be pointing into, yeah, all those guys are doing are pointing into the buffer. Into the DB metadata buffer, the actual database is what you're pointing into. Yeah, and then this thing here, well, we can let it do a clear entry. Oh. Well. Remove that. Yeah, I don't think we need to actually necessarily do all the iterations of this. Okay. So that was for risky. So there's something going on here. 2x. Oh shit. Let's just refrain from the realloc. Collation buffer search. Let's just say when we actually allocate the collation buffer search entry, so there's 32k for that. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the include search isn't getting rewound for some reason. That was probably a terrible problem, actually. If we weren't rewinding that, we're probably just writing past the end of the buffer. Now the question is, where is this actually leaking? Locate project. Oh, it's doing quite a bit of stuff actually, isn't it? Is it in it? It is in it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to actually keep this. I'm going to call it a day. Keep this. It's way too late. We've been going for way too long. How long have we been going? 3 hours 15. 3 hours 47 or something. there's a bit more stuff than I care to look into here, just at the moment. I mean, an argument actually is that this init file, which itself actually constructs the path, right, all those extend strings are going to be using memory. We would expect those to use more memory. So this init neighborhood actually correctly does use memory. We free the file, which is the thing that we're just talking about. Right, the DB file gets initted. We read that into buffer. Again, free file will free that buffer. We've got the base dir 0, which we free down here. The open dir, I feel like we've gone through this already, by the way. Open dir, yeah. Oh, hold on. Read file into buffer. Again. Ah. If we haven't got the DB file location. Oh, that's only if we haven't got the file location. Did we do all that stuff? So basically, yeah, by the end of this function, we should have the DB file buffered up. Right. So then this is going to be the free. And this is going to be doing the initialization, which is a little bit weird, I think. So, who knows? It could be one of those implicit things, couldn't it, as well, actually? Yeah, I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. So thank you very much, Heroes and Heroines, for being here, for being fantastic, for being patient, for being memorable, and for being cleanly. Is cleanly the right thing? Obviously, you can be clean. Cleanly, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, until next time. Farewell for now.